Hi guys, it's Luke here of SimBoxx. Delighted this afternoon to be joined by the Glasgow Warrior Nick Campbell. Nick, it's been a little while. How's things?
Yeah, been a wee while since we last chatted, mate. But aye, all good. Just training away. Fighting on the 14th of April in Glasgow. So, aye, just getting ready for that.
That's it. We've had a few bits and bats of news over the past couple of weeks. It's good that you've got a fight date secured. If we can, Nick, I want to go back to the most recent fight. We'll start there and we'll build up to where we're at now, if that's okay. So we had the fight with Steve Robinson. Unfortunately, the fight didn't go your way. A fight that you was arguably comfortable in. Take us from there, Nick. How did you feel the fight was going, and take us through where it went wrong?
Aye, listen, I thought I was in complete control of the fight, to be honest with you. Just got caught in the fourth round, switched off, heavyweight boxing. Do you know what I mean? All it takes is one shot to change the momentum of a fight. Um, I felt like I had kind of, recovered near the end of the round. And then when the ref actually stopped it, I thought I was maybe in a bit more trouble earlier on in the round than I was at the point when the ref stopped it. But listen, it's my own fault for getting caught. I shouldn't have got caught. I shouldn't have given the referee a decision to make. I would have liked to have continued on to the fifth, got that minute's rest, recover, come back out and see what happens. But listen, it is what it is. It's done now. So it's just one of those, live and learn. Um, Quite a few changes since that fight. I've changed a manager, changed a trainer, moving forward. So, aye, as one door closes, another opens, and like I say, I'm trying to use it as a learning experience rather than obviously it's negative, but as a complete negative. Do you know what I mean? I've learned a couple of things about myself, a couple of things I need to work on, and I just going from there really.
You touched on that a little bit there, Nick. That was something I was going to ask. That sometimes in a tough fight, like a 50-50 fight like that, that sometimes you can learn more in a loss than you have in your previous fights. When you've been winning, when it's kind of not been comfortable, but you've been dominant and stopped people. I think first and foremost, the fact that you've shown and displayed that heart, that desire that I'm sure you knew was in there, but you got up a couple of times there. There's some heavy knockdowns. So was that something that you ticked off that box, that you've got the grit when the going gets tough? You're in there and you're able to withstand it and get up and try your best to keep going?
Yeah, I think we're sportsmen at the end of the day. I'm a proud man. You know what I mean? I pride myself on my sportsmanship and my ability to, kind of ride the storm, if you want to call it that. So listen, I always knew I had that inside me, to get back up and keep fighting. I'd never give up. Do you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, listen, fair play to Steve. I mean, fought for the first 3 rounds. He caught a lot of leather. He took a lot of big shots, and he kind of kept himself in the fight, obviously. So fair play to him. I just feel there was, a few things I could have done a lot differently that would have made my night a lot easier. Um, so that's what I've been working on in the gym. Like you said, you learn more from a defeat sometimes than you do a victory. My previous 5 fights before that, won them all by stoppage. Um, yeah, I suppose Jay caught me with a good body shot in the sixth round or something like that. But other than that, I didn't really feel in trouble at all in that fight. So listen, maybe something like that. It brings you not back down to earth, but it brings you more reality of where you're going and what you need to do and what you need to improve to get to where you want to be. So I just tried to come at it with a positive mindset, positive outlook, and trying to improve in the areas that I need to improve on.
Yeah, absolutely. So in boxing, we have this obsession with the undefeated. I think people call it the Mayweather effect. But then some fighters say that if you take that first loss, nobody wants to lose. But once that O was gone, that there's almost subconsciously a pressure that's been lifted. Nick, does that something that you resonate with? Does that make you a more dangerous fighter, that you've not got that O there and you know what it feels like to lose and you don't want to feel that again?
Yeah, last night I fought in the amateurs, lost in the amateurs. I was trying to explain that to somebody the other day. When you fight in an amateur fight, it's always a 50-50 fight. There's never many one-sided affairs at amateur, especially when you go up to the higher levels. So it's two guys who are always coming to win. There's not one guy coming to survive and try and get through the fight. So that's why in the amateurs you'll get guys with records of 20 and 10 and they could be Olympians. And you go, oh, he's lost 10 fights. But you go, yeah, but he's 10 international fights and he's fought the best of the best, or whatever level it may be at amateur. It's always 50-50 and tough. And a lot of people don't know that with pro boxing. You know, a lot of the time, especially in the first kind of 10, 12 fights in somebody's career, it could be a one-sided affair. They could be in there to just try and, you know, get the guy out of there. So I'm not really bought into that, to be honest with you. You could have a record of 20-0 as a pro and never fought anybody. You could have a record of 15-5 and be a world champion. So that is what it is. I think, you know, Lomachenko was up at world level straight away, and he's not got a perfect record, and he's one of the best fighters we've seen in the last 50 years. So I don't get too, you know, I'm not one of the best fighters we've seen in the last 50 years, so I don't get too worked up about it. Do you know what I mean? Records are for DJs. I get what you're saying in terms of the pressure thing. It's not something I ever really put too much pressure on myself anyway. You know, I know that if you're in a hard 50-50 fights, there's got to be a winner and a loser. And like you said, when you're in those hard 50-50 fights, sometimes it's going to be the other guy that wins. So it's one of those, you know, move on, learn from it. Like I say, it wasn't a completely one-sided affair. It was one shot that changed the momentum of the fight. So I just trying to learn from it, improve, going from there. My record's my record. It's what I've achieved by the end of the journey that I'm more focused on than records, to be honest with you.
I think the obvious next question is, Nick, is a rematch with Steve Robinson something you're actively looking for, or is it something if it crops up you'll run it back?
Yeah, 100%. That's obviously I've changed over to Lee Eaton, Let's Go Management, and Billy Nelson coaching me and co-managing me. So between the three of us, we kind of, you know, discussed that would be the goal, really, is to get a rematch with Steve at some point down the line. I believe he's moved over to Dennis Hobson now. And he's supposed to be fighting for some kind of title. I think he's next fight. I seen somebody had mentioned to me or something like that. So, who knows? I need to go away. He's got his own thing he needs to worry about. He's got a big fight coming up as well for himself for an international title. Wish him all the best with that. And then when the stars are aligning, the time is right, and you know all the other things that come with professional boxing, we can definitely get back in and get it on. And hopefully, I can right a few wrongs. Well, I'll definitely be righting a few wrongs.
Absolutely. You mentioned there something we was going to touch on. You've linked up with Billy Nelson, a renowned trainer. He, of course, trains Martin Bakole. He's got a couple of other fighters in the stable. How big of a moment was it for you, Nick, to link up with Billy Nelson?
Yeah, listen, I've always had a good relationship with Billy since my amateur days. I've sparred Martin a lot over the past 4 or 5 years, or 4 years. And so, you know, kind of got to a period and then I had a couple of conversations and Billy just said, look, if you want to come and work with me, I'll do my best by you. We can start working on things. I'll give you things to work on and we'll take it from there. And we did, you know, we done that. And then I said, look, I think I'd like you to be in the corner for me going forward. And he was all for it. So, you know, one, it's good to have somebody like that who was willing to, you know, take you on. And then obviously with Lee and come in as well, that brings the management side of things. Billy's obviously a manager as well. So between the two of them, I think I'm in a good place and good hands in that aspect. But no, the most important thing is picking up and learning. I'm getting world-class sparring whenever I'm sparring with Martin Bakole and world-class coaching as well. You know, when Billy's been involved in 20 world title fights between Ricky Burns and Scott Harrison. Martin's #1 in the WBA, not far away from a world title opportunity himself. So it's a great environment to work in when I'm there.
Absolutely. I think, you know, we've had Billy on the channel a few times and he's a fantastic character. Is there anything in particular, Nick, that you could give us that you feel like in the short space of time that you've been working and that you feel like you're improving on? Is there anything different that you feel about yourself in training that you're going to want to display on fight night?
Yeah, I think you know, ring generalship and my ring craft, you know, how to control the ring, use my attributes to the best of my ability is something I maybe wasn't quite doing before. You know, small things about footwork and different. I don't want to get too technical with you, but sometimes it feels like you're learning to ride a bike again. Do you know what I mean? The way he's got me doing certain things that I'm just not used to. But listen, I'm trying my best. I'm listening in the gym, even though sometimes it probably feels like I'm not. I'm listening. I'm trying to take it on board and I'm trying to do it. So I think, it's persevering with it, sticking with the trusting the process and, improving. I can feel massive improvements in the short time that I've been in the gym with him. So I think going forward, as long as I stick to the task and listen to what these guys are telling me, I'm also getting, whenever I'm in there, getting a lot of help from Martin. He's trying to, give me little bits of wisdom and nuggets in the gym as well. So that's, invaluable in itself, getting in the train with a guy like that. So it's good. It's good. It's a slow process, Like I said, I'm trying to get out of some bad habits that I had and getting into new good ones. So it's just taking time and sticking to the task, persevering.
Absolutely. You mentioned Martin Bakole. I think it's safe to say, Nick, that he might be the most avoided fighter in the heavyweight division. He's recently linked up with Boxer and Sky Sports as he looks to get a big fight and then maybe into World Cup title contention. I know he's got a fight scheduled for some time coming up soon out in Poland. Just
Yeah,
first-hand experience, how good is Martin Bakole, Nick?
yeah, he's world class. Unbelievable. The sparring can be pretty, tough at times. You're constantly under pressure. And it's just, we were talking the other day about, concussive power and punch power and all that. But with Martin, he's a massive puncher, but it's his speed and his accuracy and his timing that's the killer. He's so accurate with when he punches, and his timings, like he's only getting up to full speed now in camp and stuff like that. But you can just see the timing that he's got and the accuracy he's got and the natural power he's got. He's a problem for anybody in the heavyweight division. And you can understand as well why so many guys don't call him out. But listen, he's on a journey now. He's with Sky. He's got a great platform there, a great promotional team, and he's pushing his way into the mandatory position. So I think it's only a matter of time really before we see him in some massive nights, and he gets to showcase his ability and his talent and what he can do.
Absolutely. Now we know you've been in camp with the likes of Tyson Fury, Joe Parker, and now Martin Bakole. How highly would you rank Bakole in comparison to those other guys? And secondly, do you believe that Martin Bakole is good enough to go on and win a world title?
Yeah, you would have to mention him in the same company as Tyson and Joe, who are both world class fighters in their own right. But he's definitely in that conversation. And yeah, I don't think there's any reason why he couldn't. He's shared the ring with most of the guys in sparring. I know sparring and fighting is different, but I think he's got plenty of confidence in his ability. Billy's got plenty of confidence in his own ability. I'm confident from what I've seen in the gym and his ability. So I don't think there's any reason why he couldn't win a world title. And like I say, that's his goal, and that's what he's working towards. He's ranked #1 by the WBA, and it's only a matter of time before he gets that opportunity.
Absolutely. Now, looking forward to the 14th of April, fighting in Glasgow. The fight will be broadcast on Boxing Social. How excited are you to get into the ring, given everything that we've spoken about, overcoming that loss to Steve Robinson, new management team, new trainer, putting all that together, Nick, and getting in the ring and putting it all on display? I'm sure, especially being in your home city of Glasgow, it's going to be a great occasion for you.
No, definitely. I'm just getting around everybody for tickets to now. It's hard to actually get enough tickets for what I need. So I'm expecting a massive crowd there to support me. All my friends and family, close relatives, close friends are going to be there supporting me. It's in my hometown. It's really, the last time I fought in Glasgow was unbelievable. On the Josh Taylor undercard. It's obviously a slightly different event, but listen, it's going to be more personal. It's a great little venue down at Glasgow Boxing Academy, the big feed in Govan. I think it'll be a great night of boxing. There's some other great fighters on it. Got loads of good Scottish and Glasgow lads. I think the atmosphere is going to be incredible, and I'm just looking forward to putting on a good performance, showing what I've been working on and trying to showcase the improvements I've made.
Absolutely. Well, Nick, we wish you the very best of luck come fight night. We wish you the best of luck moving forward. Thanks for your time today with SimBoxx, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks for having me again, mate. Speak to you soon.